Hey guys. So this particular video today, thank you all first of all for the overwhelming, really positive responses and support and love you guys gave me from the first video. I actually recorded that 3 times before I finally posted that last one. And true to the form of anxiety, you overanalyze and overthink everything, which is why I felt the need to have to do it 3 times. But then finally on the 3rd time, I was like, this is what this is about, and so you just got to go with it. So I had said in the last video, I had talked about my experiences and what I have dealt with some of my symptoms of anxiety, but I wanted to go into that a little more detailed, I guess, a little more elaborate. So aside from the physical things that I deal with, which is the heart palpitations, sometimes I get the tingling in my arms, sometimes I can get lower back pain, I get sweats, I get dizzy and lightheaded. Those are very common ones that I get. I'm trying to think what other type of physical, really the heart palpitations, dizziness, lightheaded, back pain. I do sometimes get stomach aches. I can get really bad, like almost kind of migraine type headaches. So yeah, those are really like the physical symptoms. The other physical thing that I do, and I say it's physical because some people have an issue with biting their nails. Now, I do not bite my nails. I used to bite my nails when I was a teenager. I don't bite my nails anymore. I try to, when I can, go and get like a manicure, pedicure type situation to at least keep my nails painted, because this will help with this next thing I'm going to say to you. And I know for a fact at least 3 other people that I know that have anxiety have the same issue. So I don't bite my nail. However, I am constantly biting my finger and the skin around my fingertip and around my nail. It's really disgusting. I hate the way it looks after, but it's a constant, like when you're constantly thinking about all the things in your head, I'm just constantly putting like my forefinger and my thumb, I'm constantly chewing on my fingertips. It's horrible. I know that, but that's probably the other big like physical thing that I deal with. On the mental side of or like emotional, internal, I guess, stuff with my symptoms, I had read something in a meme and I meant to post it and I never did. And if I can find it, I'm going to post it on my page. But some things that people have said about me that they feel are really positive things. And they are really positive traits if they're true to what the definition of those traits are. I display certain characteristics about my personality and things that I do and things that I exhibit, but in actuality, behind the scenes, and don't misconstrue this, sometimes yes, they are very true and accurate, but there's also a lot of other things going behind the scenes and in my brain that I'm actually thinking about when someone says to me, like, for example, a very common thing that I have been told many times by friends, family, and even my coworkers is that I'm very detail oriented. Now, I do tend to be detail oriented, but detail oriented is also something that I struggle with on the OCD side, because detail oriented is also so much so that if I pass through a room in my home, for example, and something is not where it's supposed to be, on a shelf, on a table, on the stove, on my kitchen counter, I will literally move it. For example, on my kitchen counter, let's say the mixer has been moved slightly. If I'm in there cleaning the kitchen and I see it's been moved, I'm going to immediately go over there and move it back to the position that I had originally had it to begin with. So that can be kind of going along with details, and I do tend to, I like being detailed to a certain extent. I think it's important to be detail oriented, especially when it comes to like work and things like that. But on the backside of that, what you're seeing is me being detail oriented, but on the flip side, I'm actually very like constantly overthinking things, constantly over analyzing things, constantly looking at the same thing to see, okay, is that the right position? Should it be this way? Or looking at, something for work and looking at it and reading it 15 times and still like, what does that word mean? What does that word mean? The overthinking, over analyzing, over constant in my brain, you guys may see as someone who's very detailed and is trying to get the little minutia of everything, but that's not always the case. And that's a constant all the time. Some people have said that I'm outgoing. And yes, I am an outgoing person, meaning I like to talk to people. I'm a talker. I'm generally a friendly person. But on the flip side of that, it also means that I am constantly trying to please people. I'm constantly trying to make sure that everyone's happy. If I'm in a room with 10 people and 9 people are having an amazing time, if there's one person that is not, I am constantly going to be focused on that one person and what I can do to help fix or make it better for that person, because if they're struggling, therefore I'm going to struggle. Like, I cannot just enjoy the moment because someone in that room is struggling. And that is the constant need to please everyone else except for me. I'm constantly always making sure that everyone is okay and good before myself. I don't really think I'm an active person. Some people say I'm active, but what I take that to mean is I'm not good at slowing down. I have a very hard time just sitting, even on a day off, of doing nothing. My husband will attest to this all day long. I cannot just be in my pajamas all day, literally sitting and like vegging out. It will drive me bonkers. It will drive me crazy. I will have to get up. I have to be doing something. I have to be in motion. I have to be cleaning something or picking up something or moving something or reorganizing something or running an errand or going outside or whatever. Like, I can't just relax and be in a state of rest, which on the one hand, I mean, I'm, constantly like cleaning and taking care of things and I want things to be nice or whatever. But on the flip side of that, my body is not resting. My mind is not resting. There's never a point where I'm comfortable or okay with just sitting and doing nothing. That bothers me. And when I am doing it, I'm constantly thinking about what else can I be doing? Like, even when I go to other people's houses and I'm just sitting doing nothing, in my mind I'm thinking, I could really be doing something else. I could be helping. I could be doing this. Or I'm thinking about what I could be doing at home instead of just enjoying. It's terrible. Some people have also said that I'm super helpful, which I do enjoy being. I have been told many times by my coworkers that I am like the team mom. And I don't mind sitting on the sidelines. I don't mind being the one that passes out the orange slices and the drinks and telling you how amazing you are and lifting you up and elevating you and being helpful to whatever the needs are of the people around me. But in the flip side of saying that, I have a really hard time saying no to people, which also drives my husband crazy because I'm a yes person. Like, yes, what do you need? Yes, how can I help you? No matter what that may cost me personally or physically or mentally, by constantly always wanting to help other people and constantly doing for other people and never just saying, you know what, I really can't do that for whatever the reason is, because it's okay to say no. Some people have said to me that I'm hardworking, which I am, like I said, because I'm constantly wanting to do something. But with that being said, that also comes with the fear of failure. I always feel like if I'm not trying all the time to be a hard worker, it's good to be a hard worker. You should be a hard worker. That's great. And, you shouldn't want to fail. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the fear of failing can sometimes be overwhelming, that I'm going to let someone down or disappoint someone, or someone's going to be upset with me, or so I'm always wanting to make sure that things are good. And so if that means I have to spend extra time, working hard at something so it doesn't fall apart, because when it does, I will stress out about it and think about it, and I will come home crying because I have messed something up and it's terrible. Another one is performing well under pressure, which I don't know that I am. I think that I am a planner. I love to be planning something, but you can also overplan. Like, for example, we're trying to go on vacation and the vacation doesn't go for another 2 years. Now, granted, when you're planning the type of vacation that we're talking about doing, you have to plan. You have to do a lot of planning and a lot of work, but I will obsess over it for the next 2 years. And I will obsess over the planning process of it for the next 2 years. It's bad. So yeah, there's that. And then also, being loyal. I'm a loyal person. I'm a loyal friend. I'm a loyal wife. I'm a loyal mom. I'm loyal. I'm loyal. I'm a loyal person. But with saying that, just also can mean that maybe I'm not very good with boundaries. So I don't know, that's a tricky one, but anyway. So I mean, that's just some of it. I mean, I also struggle with the restlessness. Like I have trouble falling asleep sometimes at night. That's really probably the biggest hurdle. I have always read in my own research that when your body's at full rest, that's usually the hardest to get through your anxiety, because now your body is resting. So when you go to sleep at night, even though your mind is constantly still going a million miles a minute, it's like your body is like trying to catch up with everything that you've been doing all day and the overexertion mentally that you've been doing all day. So your body's trying to catch up with it. So sometimes that's when heart palpitations are worse for me, or I'll have like a hot flash almost, I guess, in a sense. And I am getting older, so my body's going to be going through that process of the change and all that stuff. But sometimes at nighttime, just trying to rest to go to sleep can be a very difficult process. Not all the time, because I do have things that I do and take to help with that. But anyway, so that's really it. Like, I just wanted to kind of talk about my symptoms and what I deal with mentally and physically when I'm dealing with my anxiety. And that's not an exact science. It doesn't mean that that's what it is for everyone that has anxiety. Everybody processes things differently. Everybody deals with things differently. And there's a million different things that you could be dealing with someone with anxiety. This is just my, experience and my journey with it, and what I'm doing to, I'm trying to find some different tactics and different things to alleviate some of the symptoms that I deal with. Now, with all this being said, I don't experience these symptoms every single day. Sometimes there are worse days. Sometimes there are really pretty good days. But there isn't a day that goes by that I'm not thinking about my anxiety and how that's going to affect other people around me, especially my husband and my children. So I'm always being mindful of that and trying to make sure that, I'm being the best that I can be for them. But in saying that, once again, I'm thinking about them and not necessarily what I need to have in the moment. So that is tricky as well. Anyway, so this particular video, I don't want to keep rambling on. We're already going into 12 minutes here. I wanted to talk about the symptoms that I specifically deal with anxiety. And hopefully, with time, more time, even though it's been 5 years since I've been diagnosed with this, with more time and for the rest of my life, figuring out the best ways to help me cope as I get older and as my body changes and things, change throughout my life, adapting to that and being able to grow from that to maintain this and to keep it under control and keep it in check, because, it's important to me and I want to get a handle on it. And I think talking about it and doing these videos is a good step for me and a good thing for me. So I'm hoping that I can continue to grow. So thank you guys again for all the love and support with the first video I posted. That was really a difficult thing, and I've been thinking about it for a while, and I just decided that this is something that's going to help me in the long run, and that's important. So thank you guys, and in the next one, I'm going to talk about my coping mechanisms, what I do, how I deal with it, how I feel about medication. I know I talked about that a little bit in the first one, but I'm going to go into a little bit more depth about it, and what I take and what I do and what I'm going to start doing as far as changes going forward to help me. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon.